happy now? Yeah. Okay.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
Pretty good.
Excellent, excellent. The cocktail of the week this week, I was looking through Pinterest. Don't you throw that ball while we're podcasting. You just gently stick that in Guaco Man's mouth. GR Dad, come on. We're professionals here.
I didn't do anything. What are you trying to read
GR
my
Dad
mind?
had his arm
Guilty of a thought crime here. Thought crimes. Thought crimes.
His arm was cocked to throw a ball for guacamole. And Guac was there like all in anticipation of it. And then I interrupted it.
Nothing happened.
Fetchus interruptus.
Nothing happened.
Anyway.
It was a nothing event.
I was on Pinterest, which is now showing me all kinds of cocktail recipes, which is great. I've got tons of new and interesting stuff to try. This one is called I Love Lamp, which I had to add just because of the name. So for those of you who have not been following us for that long, you will maybe see in the next month, we have a floor lamp in Maryland, which is I hate floor lamps, but our house was also very dark. The house in Maryland is from the 40s.
And it's not recessed lighting friendly.
No. So at some point, we were like, it's dark in here. And I was like, okay, I will get a floor lamp. But I hate floor lamps. And so it's going to have to be the world's greatest floor lamp. And I found one at Restoration Hardware, which was like stupidly expensive, but it's basically a chandelier inside
An orb.
A
metal orb. Yeah.
It's the coolest looking floor lamp.
Oh,
Everybody comes in and they're like, that lamp is amazing.
And it's bright.
And it is really bright. It's dimmable. I got a matching one for the dining room that just hangs from the ceiling. They're great lamps. But the floor lamp in the living room, for some reason, Hops and our beautiful deceased dog, Schmeeg, they would just lay there and lick the base of the lamp.
Yeah.
Why? We don't know why.
It's like a kind of like a distressed iron look, but it's not iron. It's rough and...
I licked it once because I was like, does it taste like something?
What's
going
like?
on? It
Hopper's tongue?
Did not taste like anything. It was tasteless.
To you.
To me.
Dogs have a metal taste too, perhaps.
Maybe. Anyway, so for a while we would post snaps and, regular occurrence in the snaps would be Hops or Schmeeg licking the lamp, and we would caption that with I love lamp.
Busily. I mean, doing it for like a minute at a time.
Oh, yeah. Go to town on the lamp. So anyway, I love lamp was really, a refrain in the household for us for a long time.
Do you love lamp, Hopper?
So when I saw this cocktail called I Love Lamp, I was like, well, I have got to make this the cocktail of the week.
That's a sign.
So the I Love Lamp is tequila and rum. Always interesting when you combine spirits in a cocktail.
That could be a short night.
Tequila and rum, pineapple juice, lime juice, and then it has banana liqueur, but I have a real solid aversion to bananas. So ginger liqueur for us.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can stick a whole banana in there without taking off the peel.
Ginger goes really nice with pineapple and lime and both of these things. So ginger
sounds
liqueur.
Delicious.
Yeah, agave nectar and some bitters. It's really beautiful. So check out in the morning, Thursday morning, Salt and Glitter on Instagram. That's my account where I post drinks. It'll be there. It's real pretty looking.
Pictures of drinks.
Pictures of drinks. So that's the cocktail of the week. I love lamp. Who is that? Is that Boots?
Who knows?
Okay, so dog updates this week. Relatively brief. I have done my first touch-up of Vink's belly shave. It's pretty minor. I think we can probably go...
it's advanced a little bit. I think it's going higher.
We can go 2 weeks between shaves, I think. She's fine, and she doesn't mind. She doesn't look weird. Everything's fine with that.
She's pretty patient about that.
She is, yeah. Much more patient than if I try to cut her nails. I've also taken to shaving random other problematic parts of the other dogs because if I'm doing it, what the heck? Like, why not? So, CB needs his Tinkler shaved. That's part of his...
sanitary clip.
Yep. They did that for him at the vet, so I'm maintaining his sanitary clip. Shaving his Tinkler, gotta say, not a thing I ever thought I'd be doing. Shaving anybody's bits,
He still
let alone
swims
a
a
dog.
lot because, as someone said, it feels good on his tinkler.
Yeah. Hops always has a few spots where she gets kind of knotted, or, if she doesn't break out like Vink does, but if she has any place that's looking weird, now I just take the clippers and shave a little patch off.
Not that she ever leaves the water, but if she does, she has wet armpits.
Man, we were out there tonight. Dear Dad was out there with them.
That's cool.
I was up here.
Hops was growling like she used to do at the rock.
Yes. And I hear Ingo from outside go, Jen. And I was like, I'm coming. Whatever it is, it's got to be good. And there's a giant spider crab in there, like the size of her head.
The size of her head. It was legitimately worth growling at.
Yeah. And she kept trying to like tap it with her little foot. And it didn't have any claws, but it was like crawling around. Guac was in there.
And Guac was messing around.
He's like, what the hell?
Was like, why is no one throwing the ball? I mean, come on. Will the crab throw it? Because then I'm friends.
It had big, long arms.
Lots of them.
Yep.
It looked cool, yeah.
Yep. So that was very exciting for Hops. I guess so there's not really any dog news, obviously, with these updates. But I will say I made a mistake today, which is a mistake that I've made once or twice before, but caught before it became an issue, which it became an issue today. So I was giving everybody dinner. We were getting ready to go out for dinner ourselves. And like Dear Dad's getting ready.
It's a 5-ring circus.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to feed everybody dinner. It's 4:45. CBGB is screaming for his early bird special.
The blue plate special's almost over, Jen.
That dog, I mean, it's like 3:30.
The buffet is closing.
Which, like, I feel him. I also am ready for dinner at 3:30. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, like, we have 5 dogs. We have 4 different types of dog food. CB gets a whole bunch of pills. Voodoo gets a whole bunch of pills in their pill pockets, in their food. Hops and Guac are in the slow feeders, everybody else, whatever. It's quite a production.
Vink is getting impatient and jumping up and down. She gets super excited.
So I get the green beans, dump the green beans into the bowls, accidentally put some green beans on Guac's food, put some green beans on Vink's food, put some green beans in one of the bowls. I put the bowl down for CB with the green beans. I serve Vink. I serve Guac. I serve Hops, and then Vood has since gotten up. I walk into the bedroom with Vood, and as I put the bowl down, I'm like, those are Chief Brody's medicines in the bowl. Oh, this is excuse you, Vood, you're fine. This is Chief Brody's bowl of food, which means the bowl I put down for Chief Brody was Voodoo's bowl of food. What's your problem? Everything's fine. So I, recognizing my mistake, instantly picked up CB's bowl from Vood's. Not a problem. But CB has been eating this whole time and starving as though we never feed him. So he's, of course, eaten everything, including like the 8 pills that are Voodoo's seizure medicine. He has eaten. He's eaten this. You know why Voodoo is so dopey? Because he's on all that seizure medicine. That's how much medicine Brody got that was not his medicine. And so then I'm like, all right, well, like, take that food up, put Brody's food down with his medicine, which also has like sedatives and stuff in it. And then I was like, this is not good. And Ingo's like, we could try to make him throw it up. And I'm like, the seizure medicine won't really hurt you, but it can make you really tired. And then he has all this other stuff in his medicine. He took like 20 pills tonight. And I was like, all right, like, let's have him puke this up and then I'll give him another dinner. So I give him, meanwhile, I've given Vood his actual food. Good. So I take Brody outside. I make him drink some hydrogen peroxide. We hang out. And then he kind of walks around like he's going to vomit a little bit. And he throws up like 8 kibbles with a bunch of foamy hydrogen peroxide. And I was like, okay, he clearly needs a second dose. His stomach is full because he's eaten like half of Voodoo's dinner plus all of his dinner. It's probably impeding the hydrogen peroxide. So I give him another dose, and he's just like, I'm real relaxed, Jen. Like, let's just lay down here. Eventually, he gets back up. He goes into the water because Dear Dad has brought the other dogs out to do their business. Hops and Guac are in the water. So Brody wanders into the water, fine. And then as he's in the water, it is time to vomit. So he vomits up none of the pills, but part of his dinner into the water, and then he proceeds to walk through the water that his puke is floating on.
Blissfully unaware.
Just
he doesn't
walking
understand.
through it.
Yeah.
So then we had to, of course, hose him down. and get the other dogs in the house so they didn't eat the dog kibble that had been vomited into the ocean.
Because at some point, Guac would have been like, "Oh, ocean food, ocean, the gifts of the ocean."
I guess we gave a gift to some fish tonight. They were probably like, "Ooh, fancy."
It's probably that crab who was like, "Oh, floating kibble."
Plucking little kibbles out of
This
the water.
is the best. Tastes a little hydrogen peroxide-y, but it's fine. It's fine, guys.
Anyway, that was like basically all we could do for CB. And we weren't super worried because, Guac has taken Vood's medicine before because Vood's threw it up and Guac ate the vomit. It's gross. And, Vood's has had big doses of his medicine before, like when we got him, when we didn't understand his right dose. We've talked to the vet, like, he has thrown up before. And I called the vet and I was like, I don't know how much of his medicine he digested. I can't find pills in here. And she's like, well, you can just give him another dose of everything. Like, he'll be really tired, but it's not going to hurt him. So we knew it wasn't going to be like, super damaging to CB. So, okay, we did our best. We go out to dinner. We come back and CB's like laying on the ottoman. And he's just like, hey, guys. And he like wags his tail. He's very relaxed.
Up? He's not as stressed as he usually
very
is.
laid back tonight.
He's like, I had lots of food.
Lots of food, and he's real mellow. So,
and he doesn't begrudge you the hydrogen peroxide either. He seems to have taken that quite in stride.
Yes, doesn't seem at all affected by it. So,
I mean, emotionally, like he's not presenty.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean too. No, he seems fine. So everybody's good.
The Blauhai is a thing of the past. We now have whatever IKEA calls their elephant.
It's the word for big.
Gug.
Hang on, I'm looking it up. It's called it's spelled Jatteestor.
How do you pronounce that?
Well, I'm going to look it up. Hang on.
It could be jättestor.
Okay.
Jättestor.
Oh.
Jättestor.
Do that again.
Jättestor.
That's good.
Let's Google Translate. It means whopping.
Whopping?
Yeah. Jättestor.
So Blauhai they just call blue shark, but elephant they call whopping.
Yep. It also means... Here's the alternative translations. Huge and also chunking.
Chunky.
Chunking. Jättestor means chunking.
That's what Chief Brody was doing.
That's funny. The elephant, which is the size of the Blauhai, but an elephant is, oh my God, it makes Guac so happy.
So relaxed.
So happy.
He is so content when he has that thing in his mouth.
When I got Guac, so we got him just before everything shut down in 2020, end of February 2020, and I was up in Maryland, I think for work, and they brought Guac to me, and I had him for about a week in Maryland by myself, and then GR Dad kind of flew up and drove him back down.
Yeah.
But it was just me and Guac for a while.
That's
and
right. He was a handful.
Yeah, he was. So
this is what drove you crazy.
He wasn't that. The thing that was really hard with Guac when we first got him was that he was like too rambunctious playing with our other dogs, and he wouldn't come.
And he would run away. It's
much less of an issue in Maryland.
Right.
Excuse me, where...
That's right.
He was just like in the backyard. He didn't have a lot to do. But he clearly had a lot of energy, so I was taking him to the dog place up there.
The obedience place. No,
this is just doggy daycare.
Oh, yeah.
Dogtopia. They're great. Dogtopia.
Dogtopia is the local place, right?
Yeah.
The other one is the one with the E at the end.
Oldie Towny Pet Resort.
Several E's, yes.
Yes, that's where we do the training. Michael Kelly's our guy there. But yeah, so we just took him to Dogtopia for dog day camp to get his energy out. And they were like, so they have crates in the rooms because they do like nap time in the middle of the afternoon, right? They play all day.
Nap time for dogs. That's like preschool. It's so sweet.
Yeah, they have nap times. Everybody goes in a little crate so they can kind of calm down. And so the crates kind of line the edges of the room. And they're like, so Guac gets up on top of the crates and barks at everybody, which is still like stuff he does.
He should be like like one of those mushing dogs. They get on top of their crates.
Yes, it was like that. But anyway, when I had Guac at home, we have a bunch of Blauhais always. So I gave him one of the Blauhais and he put the thing in his mouth and he just carried it around. He slept on it. He moved it around the house. Like he had the Blauhai in his mouth at all times when I first got him.
Yeah. And
you could tell that it was just like really comforting and relaxing that he had this very big thing that he could kind of because he does kind of hug it, like he wants a leg over it
Yeah.
and get in. And I've got all these pictures from, a year ago when we first got him, that he's like hugging the Blauhai on the bed, was just falling asleep with his mouth clamped on it. And
Then he twitches.
and he'll do a little chompy twitch. But it was a real comforting thing to him, and it remains so to this day. He's like that with the Blauhais too, but he's generally pretty gentle with the big toys, which is not to say he doesn't destroy them.
He forgets that he also needs them as wubbas, and then someone comes up like a Venk and tugs on it, and Guac's like, "Oh, this is the best game ever," and I'm tugging, and then the thing explodes, and Guac's like, "Where'd my comforter go?"
Yeah, he had our friends brought him one during the Keys 100. They brought him one of the Golden Retriever toys and a Blauhai, but the Golden Retriever toy I gave him while we were waiting. This is our friend Simon. We were waiting for him at the race, and Guac destroyed that Golden Retriever toy from fresh to like a pile of floof in about 45 seconds, much to the amusement of everyone else who was waiting for runners, because he's walking around with this big dog, and they're like, "Isn't that cute?" And then Guac's like, "I killed," and then he just like shook it around and flew flying everywhere.
He doesn't eat the floof, but he distributes it. He takes it out with his mouth and throws it to the side, and takes it out and throws it to the side.
Yeah. So that does happen sometimes, but generally he's better about it, and he kind of keeps.
Oh yeah, and then he took the husk and carried it into the water here. And it was floating around. It was very disturbing.
That was a different one.
No,
You
that
brought that
was the one, because it was. I took it out of your car. It had like a bag full of floof, like a white trash bag full of floof, and then this husk of
Yeah.
a puppy. It was disturbing because it had still had the.
Oh my
still had
God,
the head.
and go.
Rookie mistake.
You want to clean that up?
Yeah.
Okay. Just pause the podcast. Apparently, Ingo dislikes the cocktail of the week so much that he's just going to dump it all out over the table. He's like, "I don't want to finish this." "Oh, no. I accidentally knocked it over. How sad. How tragic."
3 times.
So anyway, that's the dog updates. Everything's good. Yatastor is protected. We put him away at the end of nap times, and he's doing good.
Yeah. Foods was tugging him this morning. And Guac gets a little excited with him and throws him around sometimes. So it is better to take him out of the mix during the day.
So we're going up to Maryland this weekend. So our next few podcasts will be from up in Maryland. And
Exotic.
the closest IKEA now is further away than Havana. The Havana is closer than IKEA right now. The closest IKEA when we're in Maryland is about a 12-minute drive from our house. So I plan to stock up on both Blauhais and Yatastors.
Yeah, last time I went to IKEA, they were out of those golden retrievers.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. Otherwise, I would have gotten one for Guac.
Yeah, well, we'll have a bunch of big giant toys. They can come back with us.
So much floof. So much floof.
Well, we're doing a good job protecting this one. Like, we have a no stuffed toys rule in the house.
We should probably just explain. The floof is only a problem, is an urgent problem these days because Voods will eat it. And it's very bad for him to eat that, like, plastic synthetic floof.
Yeah, the stuffing.
Yeah,
Because it sits in his, he eventually will pass it,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you eat too much, it's bad. But the problem is that it sits in his stomach, and then his medicine gets nestled in there, and the medicine doesn't break down. So when he was eating stuff much more often,
Everything.
it just, I mean, he still does eat everything, but he's much better than he was. We're probably better than we were. Like, we keep stuff out of the way. But when we had some stuffed toys, there were times where he would vomit and his pills would be intact in the floof, and he really needs to digest those pills to not have his seizures. So no stuffed toys in the house at all. And the kind of Blauhais or whatever, those big ones are kind of exceptions because we don't leave them out for them to play with.
So, but when there's stuffing all over the place, we have to clean it up because Voods will hoover it up and then.
Was it a Blauhai that got destroyed this week?
Yes.
The old Blauhai.
No, I brought an IKEA one, a new one.
Yeah, it was partially ripped.
Yeah.
I had taken it
and the fin off.
Yeah, the fin was off, and I was letting Guac carry it around because he missed his elephant, but I didn't want the elephant ripped up, and so fine, like he and Hobbs and Vank are tugging on it, and it gets ripped up, but so then all the floof explodes out, and then the immediate step is we have to pick up all the floof right away.
Foods, who was sleeping soundly somewhere, appeared out of nowhere behind our backs and started licking up all the
That's right. I was sitting
stuff
on
he
the
could get.
couch
He
and I
just-
was
he
like,
just-
oh.
He's a very sneaky guy for as big as he is. Of
Yeah.
course, he blends in being white and all. We need like dark carpets or something.
Can you imagine how bad our house would look with dark carpets?
Camo vood. Well, we'd see vood a lot better. The white tile floor is his camo.
Ugh. Anyway, so there you go. Let's see.
Oh, it would look bad with all the, especially now with the two white
So
guys and the floof would
Yeah.
look terrible.
I mean, it's been a real upgrade in our strategy to have golden retriever colored rugs.
Well, and then we got like 3 different colors though, so it's really, it's been a,
It works okay.
we're not maximizing efficiency. We should have all the same color goldens, and then all the same color whites.
Let's see. You have a German word of the week, or you want me to do
Yeah.
taste of the keys first?
Do taste of the keys.
All right. So this is a weird one this week.
It's a mystery.
Yeah. Let's pull it up here.
But again, the headline doesn't do it justice. The headline doesn't do it justice.
Yeah. Your dad was a little far from the mic, and then
I know. I felt like I was
compensated.
fading away.
Yeah, so a lot of times the headlines skip the important part, and this is one of those cases, but also unclear what the point is of the story, but hashtag mysteries.
Research could be done, but not by me.
The headline is Man Arrested for Illegally Transporting Gasoline. When you see that in Conclave, you know there's a hell of a lot more going on.
Yeah, because
It's like, what even is illegally
I
transporting
mean,
gasoline?
the days of putting it in grocery bags because of the someone else is having a shortage are over. Right? That was the story of the day. People are putting them in giant bags and stuff.
Yes. Oh, we all remember that from like 2
But
weeks
that's
ago.
not this. It was like a month ago.
Oh my God. Don't be that old guy who's like, you guys, there was like this one story.
I am recreating my mental process.
Oh, okay.
Which also may be a problem, but that's all I'm doing.
Ingo, my goal is to stop you from becoming an old man who tells old man stories.
During the podcast.
At all times, including during the podcast.
Your definitions may be...
Old mans, and this is not you, but kind of old men in general, get especially old manny when they're talking to people who they're not around all the time.
I'm around you all the time.
Yeah, but this is you talking to the podcast, which is like people other than me. Because you wouldn't be like, Jen, there was this thing where people were putting gasoline in kitchen bags.
Well, I would have
grocery
said,
bags.
oh, it made me think of the gasolines and garbage bags, and that's what I thought was illegal gas transport.
Anyway, I love you.
We can cut this out.
No, we're leaving this.
No, it's not live.
It is a gift to your partners to not let them become their parents. Like those commercials where people turn into their
those
parents.
are disturbing. Yeah.
I don't want you to be that guy. I love you.
Agreed.
Okay. Anyway, man arrested for illegally transporting gasoline. A 44-year-old Hialeah, Florida man was arrested Monday night after he was found to be illegally hauling more than 228 gallons of gasoline in a go-fast boat.
So the gasoline is in the boat, and that's 228 gallons. A normal tank is about 40 gallons.
I have no idea what a boat tank holds.
Oh, our gallon, but like a car, our tank holds about 18 gallons.
So he has
228 gallons.
He's got 10-gallon drums,
Yeah.
plastic containers. So a 5-gallon bucket, like that's the bucket you get from Home Depot, right?
Yeah.
Just the big bucket. So these are twice that size.
Kind of like pods. They look a little bit like pods.
Yeah, but they're kind of clearish, milky clearish. You can sort of see through them, and they've got a lid that goes on the top. And he's got 20 some of these that are full of gasoline. So I guess they're a little more than 10 gallons each. And those are in this super speed boat. A go fast boat's a super speedy boat.
I mean, the name is stupid, but it's a go fast boat. It's not a go slow boat or a go gentle boat. Yeah.
Okay. So the sergeant stopped a black Toyota pickup truck towing a 29-foot well-craft Scarab boat. Boat people know what that is. I don't know what that is. It's a go-fast boat. At 5:32 p.m. near US 1 near 61st Street in Marathon. So that's the middle key. The front of the vessel appeared to be weighted down so much it was causing the rear of the pickup truck to sag excessively. Imagine that, like your truck is smooshed down
Because your boat is so heavy.
because the boat is pushing down on the hitch so
I wonder
much.
if it was sparking. That would be catching people's attention.
Especially with all that gasoline in there. The driver and 2 passengers were in the truck. A U.S. Customs and Border Protection agent arrived on the scene to assist. The CBP agent advised the boat's V berth was full of illegal fuel drums. Again, is that the front? The V berth?
Yeah, the thing in the nose. It's like shaped like a V.
Did you just make that up, or do you know that to be
Totally
true?
made that up. But I saw the photo on Instagram. It was in the nose.
V berth. I'm looking it up. The extreme forward end of the hull. Okay, great.
My
Okay.
gut told me that.
The V berth was full of illegal fuel drums. An estimated 15 to 20 illegal fuel drums were found holding an estimated 228 to 266 gallons of fuel. A second Customs and Border Protection agent arrived to assist. Multiple containers of oil were also found. Okay, so a little weird. You got all this gas in a boat. Obviously, you can't like ride around in the boat with all this extra gas because the boat's not going to go right if it's like sagging down the pickup truck. Like that's a lot of extra weight.
Yeah,
I mean, how much? That's
weird. But maybe you have a lot of weight in the back.
I mean, eventually the boat's going to sink, right? That happens with boats. They sink if you put too much in them.
Gasoline is lighter than water, though, so the physics may be completely confusing here.
All right. The weight of a gallon of gas, according to Google, is 6.1 pounds. So let's say he had 250 gallons, which is kind of the middle. That's 1,525 pounds.
I don't know. I don't know what sinks a boat. I don't think it'll sink a boat.
Weight limit of a Go Fast boat. Go Fast boat is a small, fast boat with a long, narrow platform and planing hull to allow it to reach high speeds. Oh, this is interesting. During the era of Prohibition, these boats joined the ranks of rum runners, transferring illegal liquor from larger vessels waiting outside U.S. territorial waters to the mainland. That's a thing that we do here in the Keys. Is
rum running.
Yeah, interesting.
What else was in the boat?
Well, hang on, Ingo. I am working through the weight limit of this Go Fast boat, which is extremely interesting content. Okay.
Here's all I'm saying. You want to hear my physics dissertation?
Yeah.
The displacement of the boat is based on like how much. I guess it'll still float even if it's full of gasoline. That's what I'm thinking.
If the
hull is full completely with gasoline, that's still lighter than if it were full of water. So even if you filled the whole thing with gasoline, it would still float.
Okay, I mean, it wouldn't totally sink.
It'd still float.
But it would kind of be down far in the water.
Oh, yeah, it would be down.
All right.
I'm just saying it can probably handle
it. I like that, though. Okay, here we go. Does anyone know the weight capacity of a 96-26-foot Scarab? I don't have a manual that shows the specs. Someone asks on offshoreonly.com.
Is it this guy? Is it the guy who owned this boat? How much gasoline can I transport?
This is from 2007.
Oh, too bad.
Someone says, if I recall correctly, it's 4,750 pounds dry, and somebody says 4,800 pounds dry weight. So you are correct. Our gasoline would weigh about 1,500 pounds, so the boat would be fine.
You could even put in 10 people.
Yeah, a lot of people. Okay.
And still
a lot of rum, Ingo.
Maybe.
All right. So we got this boat. It has a whole bunch of gas. Now it's on a trailer, on a car.
They caught it
truck.
on the trailer.
But you could transport this much gasoline in the boat and the boat would not sink. All right. I'm glad we worked out that science.
You think what I talk about is boring.
Go
ahead, though. No, go ahead.
If you appreciated my math on the weight capacity of this boat, please tweet at The Golden Ratio and also at Ingo Burghardt that says, I love science.
Hashtag math tricks.
Okay. So we got the drums and we got containers of oil, and a large black hose suspected to be a fuel transfer device was located among the fuel containers. Were they siphoning it off? Were they going to put it into something? Okay, here we go. Now it gets interestinger.
Yeah.
A total of 18 new personal flotation devices were located, along with 2 large coolers packed full of water, Gatorade, mangoes, and lunch meat.
Lunch meat.
Meat carrot.
Wow, meat carrots and mangoes.
3 large trash bags were found in the vessel containing multiple bags of apples, crackers, and bread.
Oh, this is bad.
All right,
This
so
is
we've got
bad.
a lot of gasoline, some oil in a hose, 18 brand new life jackets, and then Mango's lunch meat. I mean, you're going to make some sandwiches and like have a little fruit with
They
your
were gonna
sandwich.
kidnap 18 voodoos.
A bag containing 2 black ski masks,
This is where it gets really bad.
2 pairs of black gloves,
No.
1 black hat,
No.
a satellite phone, and 1 GPS unit was also found on the boat. The satellite phone is the thing, man.
That's cool.
I mean, it's cool, but like, what?
That's nice and illicit. That's good.
The registered owner of the truck was not on scene, and none of the 3 inside the truck claimed ownership of the evidence on scene.
Not ours. We're towing it and driving
The
it.
driver was taken to jail. The 2 passengers were not charged. What are you doing with 250 gallons of gasoline, some oil, fucking bags of mangoes and apples and sandwich fixings, water and Gatorade, ski masks? We're in the Keys. Literally 0 times in the year where you'd wear a ski mask.
You're not going skiing?
Gloves, sat phone.
The ski masks are the problem for me.
Spies?
I
People
mean,
smugglers?
people smugglers, what I'd say. Go to Cuba, pick people up.
In a go-fast boat, though, you can't fit that many people in it.
You can if you don't care, and you can if you overload it on purpose.
I guess.
They could be little people, small, like women and children.
Yeah.
You wear like 80 pounds, 50
I
pounds.
mean, that's probably,
But
almost
then
certainly
what's
that's
the
what it was.
Ski mask. Could be drugs. Except then it's...
You don't need
18
all the food for the
You don't
drugs.
need
though.
18 flotation devices.
It
for-
could be both.
for
Yeah,
drugs.
that's right. So you're picking up 18 people. You're going to use half the gas on the way down to Cuba.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you still don't really need the ski masks. There was a big...
Maybe use all the gas on the way down and just refuel in Cuba. We could do that.
If you bring in a ski mask, I don't think you're legit refueling in Cuba.
The 2 ski masks.
See, this...
Like you can see the refugees' faces, but not my faces. It's real... The ski masks make me real nervous.
I need to know the miles per gallon on a go-fast boat.
It's more like gallons per mile.
Is it?
It's bad.
All right, hang on. I'm going to pause. Okay, we're back on... this is called the Hull Truth Boating Forum. I found a heck of a deal on a 2003 Wellcraft Scarab, 35 foot. It has triple 250 Evinrudes on
Triple.
it. So many people are going to be making fun of my complete lack of boat
3
knowledge.
motors is a lot of motors.
And I was wondering if anybody had a clue how many GPH it would get at cruising speed. I don't want to jump on it until I know I can feed it.
Gallon per hour.
Yeah. I fish on a 0735 with 250 ETECS. I have no idea what this means. And the nest we are seeing is around 1.5 miles per gallon at 37 mile per hour cruise. Okay, so let's say they're getting 1.5 miles to gallon. From Marathon, it's about 120 miles to Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
Divided by 1.5 miles per gallon. So it's going to use 80 gallons going down to Cuba. They're going to use 80 gallons coming back up. And you want to make sure you have extra for idling
Maybe
and
more
whatever.
coming up if you're fully loaded with 18 people.
So that's exactly the amount of gas that a smart person would bring if they were going to go to Cuba.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, that's like to the closest edge of Cuba, right? Like if you're going
That's
to
right.
Mariel or wherever, it's further away.
You're going
than that.
fast.
Yeah.
Go fast.
Sure does seem like a people transporting operation, though. No clue of this in the story.
No, I think it's weird that they like just let everyone go and are just like, yeah, the driver shouldn't have been transporting all this gasoline. Sorry, dude. Like, are they not keeping an eye on him now? He's just going to smuggle a bunch of people.
Hey, I mean, it's nice that he was bringing them sandwiches and mangoes.
It's probably people who are paying him a lot for the
I mean,
mangoes
it's
and the
still
sandwiches.
nice. I mean, you read stories about coyotes bringing people in, and they're not necessarily giving them sandwiches.
True. Or in a fast boat. They're on some kind of rickety raft.
There was just an accident. Like, we get all these alerts of,
Oh, yeah.
stuff going around in the Keys, and there was a big boating accident, like 18 miles southwest of Key West, and
Yeah.
there's nothing out there.
It's
There's
in the direction of Cuba, yeah.
Well, not really. Cuba's like directly south and kind of east. There's nothing southwest. But there was this boat, and there were like some people who died, and they were doing this rescue operation. And we're like, what the hell is a
like
boat?
20 people.
Yeah, what is a boat with that many people doing out there? Then it turns out it was from Mariel, trying to bring
we
Cubans
were thinking
here.
it was, at first it was like an excursion boat or something from Key West with
Yeah.
a bunch of divers on it, but that wouldn't be out there. Yeah,
No, so they just got off track clearly, and
significantly.
yeah. All right, so there you go. That's Taste of the Keys. Interesting business. You want to give us your German word of the week?
Sure.
Hit me.
It's Absacker.
Absacker. It means suck up.
Absacker. No, it means the thing that pushes you underwater.
Oh, interesting.
It's the drink that pushes you underwater. It's the drink that drowns you. And it's like I've seen the translation as nightcap, but that seems very mild. This is like
I don't know what you mean by the drink that drowns you.
When you're already drunk and you want to leave, somebody goes, let's just have an Absacker. Like have one more to make you super drunk. Or if you're still
like one
sober.
more for the road.
One for the road is the sort of gist of it. Yeah, one for the road.
And what's the literal translation?
The drowner. No, I mean
Interesting.
that's the picture I have is the camel that breaks the straw, the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Interesting. How do you spell it again?
Absacker.
Absacker. The Google Translate says nightcap, which is what you said.
Absacker.
Yeah, nightcap, but that sounds very friendly and nice, right? Like you're having a little nightcap. There, it's like, ugh, I've had too much, and then they go, just have an Absacker, and that'll put you right over the edge.
Here's what it says, and you're going to have to translate this while I poorly read it auf Deutsch.
Yeah, okay.
It says, umgangssprachlich. What does that mean?
Colloquially.
Okay. And then they have an example. It says, am Ende eines Zusammenseins oder vor dem Schlafengehen, going to sleep?
Yeah.
Is that what that is? Getrunkens letztes Glas eines alkoholischen Getränks. But say that word that I couldn't say right.
Alkoholischen.
Alkoholischen Getränks.
Yeah.
At the end of a get-together or to
Yeah.
go to sleep, drink your last glass of alcoholic drinks. Is that what that says?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm so good.
But of course, I've seen it practiced where my dad would say, people would be like, "Oh, it's time to go," right? And in Germany, this is a long, drawn-out process. People stay forever, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's your house, and people are there at 2 and 3 in the morning, like discussing philosophy and getting hammered on wine.
Sounds awful.
And then they'd be, well, my dad too. And then they'd be like, "Oh, we got to go." And my dad would be like, "Just one more glass." And then he had a glass that was a whole liter. It would fit a whole bottle of wine, and you just like fill it with the bottle and be like, "All right, we got to drink this now."
That sounds very your dad.
And so we'd pass it around, and everyone would try to drink as much as they could of that liter to make it empty so they could leave. It was a bit of a hostage situation, but in a socially acceptable way.
This is when we have gone to Germany.
He was
before,
so proud of that glass, like to be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, one more glass."
I can totally see it. I always have to just like, normally when I go to people's houses, especially when I'm visiting, I'm always just like, whatever your system is here, like I am participating in your system.
Yeah, but that usually can't actively hurt you.
No, and so when we go to Germany, I mean not the last couple times because your parents have a smaller place now, but like when we went to their house, and we'd have dinner, whatever, and it would always be like we had just gotten off the plane and they had picked us up at the airport.
We'd never acclimated.
I'm exhausted. I'm kind of nauseous. I always feel nauseous when I'm jet lagged like that. And so
Yeah.
then we've eaten dinner and we have talked. And as an introvert, I am exhausted from like 3 hours of just chatting.
And listening to German and figuring that out. I mean,
is
it's a lot for you.
A lot of work. Like I can pick up most of the conversation, though I don't participate much. But it's a lot of work to really focus to understand the German because my
parents
German's not good.
speak English too, but then on the side they'll speak German and it'll be a whole.
Your parents are incredibly accommodating to me speaking English, right? So this is nothing against them, but yeah, like of course people are speaking German to each other, and I want to pay attention, but my brain is like very focused. So when Jared's dad gets the liquor out, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bed. Like, not, and he'll be like, come on, just have a glass, just do this. And nope, I'm out. Like, I'm sorry if you think I'm rude, but
And he used to have the thing where he would fill up your glass without
Oh, he does that when they come here.
without asking and without you noticing. We have had guests in Germany where they'd have to put something over their glass, where they're just like, I cannot lose track
I
of
think
how
I've
much
done
wine
that
I
at your house before.
I think it's the only way. You have to be a little bit firm. You
Yeah.
have to be a little firm, yeah. And these are all older things. They're older now. They're not doing it as much anymore.
Hashtag problematic.
But hashtag, yeah.
Anyway,
Drink culture.
it's something. Okay, Abzaka.
Anyway, Absaka is sort of, let's just have one more drink, right? Let's have an Absaka.
Yeah. All right. Good one. Good one, Ingo.
Light, shining a light on my dark history.
Hey.
The dark chapter of my life.
It's great. I love you. Okay. I think that's it. We're stay tuned for this weekend snaps where we RV the whole squad up to Maryland. It's going to be a big road trip adventure.
As usual, we're kind of dreading it, but it's an efficient process, and it's the way to do it, and it's the most humane with the dogs. But man, is that thing a beast to drive.
Ugh. Yeah, and it's 20 hours of driving.
Which doesn't bother me as much, since I would do that for small.
You do it all to go see some bugs.
But it's different if it's a normal car or an RV. But that's a whole thing.
Well, at least we get to trade off.
We get boat-like mileage too.
Anyway, that's why we're going for a while.
Maybe we should overload it with gasoline.
We're towing my car so we could fill my car up with these 10-gallon drums of gas. That's a terrible idea.
And mangoes.
No. Those two, just the mangoes. Our neighbor has a mango tree.
We are bringing a bunch of coconuts.
Lots of coconuts. But
Illegal coconuts seized.
The neighbor has a mango tree that's full of, laden with ripe coconut.
They're getting ripe
mangoes.
They're all reddish already.
They're not picking them.
They're just letting them hang.
The next door around here, when the mango trees get ripe, the next doors and the Keys are full of people who are like, somebody picked mangoes off my mango tree. I'm so mad. And I don't want to be that guy. At the same time, they're not picking their mangoes and they're ripe. They're going to touch the ground.
And it's so dark at night.
I could
so dark.
Just go get one.
So dark.
One mango.
We'll have to do more reconnoitering because they might have a heat camera. Who knows?
Oh my God.
That's the only thing I'd be worried about is a low light camera.
I got to borrow those ski masks and the black gloves from the guys.
There you go.
Go pick one mango out of their tree.
Well, if you're doing the ski mask, just grab their mangoes. It's fine. They don't need them right now.
All right, everyone. Well, until next week, go get vaccinated if you haven't already. And don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.